welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Annie, for having me. This is amazing. It has been a dream come true,
Uh,
really, to be here with you.
well, same. Because Vanessa, you have such an inspiring story, and we've had a lot of interesting guests on this show with all sorts of backgrounds, but yours is easily one of the most fascinating stories, particularly of growth and transformation. So tell us a little bit about Venus Capital Partners. How did you then, so you had this very successful marketing company, and then you moved to Panama, and then you made your way to the States. So take us from there. What happened from Panama, and then how did you eventually, I believe you sold that company, and then how did you get into real estate?
Yeah. So I had two companies in Panama, and both seven-figure companies. I sold the companies before moving to the United States more than a decade ago. And the reason I moved is because, well, my husband was living in LA. So, and I was living in Panama. So we had to choose in between LA and Panama. So we decided to go to move to LA. And I sold my companies, and then I took a break for about 3 months. And then my brain started again.
Oh, yeah.
I can't say.
You're not built to stay still, I can tell.
No. And my husband had a very nice business. He was creating content, but he was a solopreneur. He had this content creation with one client, and I was like, boom, this is everything that we can do with this company. And we're going to make this company huge. And this is what you're going to do. And this is what I'm going to do. So we created a publishing a content company focused on automotive. And that company is actually right now the biggest automotive content and publishing for the Hispanic community. Is the number one. So we built that company for about 5 years. We had 3 kids during that time. And then it was really hard for us to work together, because if you're listening to this, you could be one of these people that work with your husband or your wife, and you have a real company together. It goes great, but it's not the same for everybody.
Right.
For some people work, for some other doesn't work. And we'll see each other 24/7. And at one point it was like, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
So we better stay married.
Right.
Different companies. So, and we always talk about real estate and how important, because we have been entrepreneurs, and how we every year when we see our taxes, we were like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But people know that we don't know how we have to pay all these taxes. And we always talk about real estate. But we were busy there. And at that point, we were like, okay, maybe this is the time for me to explore real estate. So I started educating myself. I am very much a believer of education and coaching. I believe that you always pay for education one way or the other. You can pay with your mistakes or along the way, or you can pay to a coach. You can learn. So education is expensive. So I rather to pay for education and learn. So that's where my journey started. I went to an education company. I studied for about maybe for a year. And I found and I partnered with some very, very smart people that had a lot of experience. Because something that you cannot buy is experience. I have 20 years of experience in business. I know how to manage a business, and by the way, every property is like a small business. It's like a small venture. You start from the beginning, you execute a business plan, and you exit. It's like a company. That's what I have done that 5 times. Very successful. Now I was bringing that to a property since the acquisition until the exit. But what I didn't have was the 20 years in experience in the real estate. So I partnered with some very smart people, that a lender that had 27 years, that went through the 2008. And I created this company focused in technology and innovation. And I am so excited right now because the company has been growing, I would say that very slow. And I'm very proud about that because you have seen for the last 3 years, many people talking about how many millions of dollars they have been buying, okay? And our company is holding right now $50 million. We sold 3 properties last year, but we are right now in $50 million. And the reason for that is because we have been so careful in analyzing, in buying properties for the last 3 years. And I'm very excited for what is coming, okay, in the future. As I said, I have been very focused in technology and innovation for all my companies. I think that what stand out in my companies from the competitors in any area has been always that technology and innovation. Since the first company that I started, okay, when technology was not a thing, but innovation has been always there, okay, that's where we start. What we can offer, what value we can offer, how we can do it different. Then in Panama, by the way, it was maybe 2006, close to the crash in 2008. But at that point, it was a social media breakthrough, if you remember. So that was the year that Twitter came out. A few years before was Facebook. So our company actually leveraged all that, okay, and we became pioneers in the social media, okay, and all these digital technologies for the uses of business and also for the uses of nonprofits and philanthropy, because I've always been very involved in philanthropy.
So I still can't believe that you started a business at 22, which at 22, most people are, looking for their first jobs. They're trying to figure out taxes and then trying to figure out how to be an adult, find their first apartment. And here you are, you launched not just any business, not a small business, but it grew over just a few short years to over 2,500 employees. And we've been, so at our company, Goodegg Investments, we've been at it for about 5 years. We have about 10 people on the team. And I feel like that's a lot of growth. I'm like, oh my gosh, each time we interview, we put out a new job description, it's a lot. But going from, one person to 2,500, over 2,500 employees in just a few short years, what it tells me is that not only do you have that resourcefulness, but also that resilience and that vision, because it sounds like it wasn't an easy journey. There were a lot of bumps along the way. You weren't handed anything. You grew it all from the ground up. And then as you faced challenges, you figured out ways to navigate. So
it was definitely not an easy task, especially, well, it's a different country as well. And it's a different culture. But I was also, at that time, I was married at 20, okay? So I had my daughter, and my daughter was maybe a year and a half when I started my company, okay, as well. And then by the time that the company, 4 or 5 years later, my daughter was maybe 6 years old, okay? And at that point, I was a single mom, okay? So I have a lot of respect for single moms and everybody, like entrepreneurs in general. It was not an easy task, okay, but it was always fun, and as you say, resilient. I think that finding a creative way to do things as well. I am definitely a visionary, okay. I am not into details of everything, okay. So at that point, I was telling everybody in my company, please do not come here and tell me that this is not possible. Everything is possible. Just come here with a solution, and if you don't come here with a solution, we're going to find it, okay? But that has been part of my mantra since the beginning.